Alright. I don't see any dropped frames so far. What does the stream look like from your end?
Stream looks good.
Alright. Cool. I think everything I did actually worked.
Yeah, I can hear myself on the stream as well.
Alright, now to get the chat somewhere where I can actually see it, just in case.
Chatters, that doesn't happen.
Actually, it does.
The myth.
On occasion, they're not bots, too. Alright. So, we've been live long enough, and I think all the checks are good. Let's start this. Welcome to Sound Goblin's, renewed Thursday, strategy RPG my backlog stream. I'm, going to be your host this time, Vincent.
I am the Krampus.
Shiv.
And this is Banner of the Maid. Basically, an alternate history of the Napoleonic Wars sans Napoleon as Emperor, due to shenanigans.
Yeah, last time we played Fey Tactics, which was a lesser-known but still somewhat popular tactics game. So for this time, we just decided to go way deeper into, like, obscure tactics games.
Yes. Let me see. So we're going to go with officer mode, because I don't hate myself.
Yeah.
But still want something resembling a challenge. Partially because some things in battle, or unlocking some characters does require doing certain things in battle, so being able to save scum can be kind of helpful.
So we're already starting with a baseline understanding of nonsense in this game.
Yes.
A small
Usually
amount.
a small amount. It's not too bad generally. So yes, this takes place basically around the French Revolution, except it's an alternate timeline, so French Revolution wouldn't even be quite well, it's correct, it's just not... It doesn't have the same outcome. Knight in Varnays. Or something like that. French words elude me, okay?
Yeah, an apology in advance to any French-speaking audience members we happen to get.
Yeah, the best person at actually pronouncing French words in Sound Goblin is Bograt, who is not joining us, partially due to his opinions on the Quebecois, we'll say.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't hate the French.
There, we'll put this on autoplay.
White-haired politician.
Yes. So, two fairly famous Frenchmen. Mirabeau, whose fame escapes me and I forget about, and, of course, the Marquis de Lafayette. I'd insert air horns here if I wasn't too lazy to actually set them up.
Hold on, give me a second. Not air horns. Not fair if we don't say his full name. At least once.
What, the Marquis de Lafayette?
Much more than that.
I know it is. So, the tutorial stage, where the Marquis de Lafayette basically, is your tutorial character. As you can see, kind of standard fare. Strategy RPG. This is more in line of, like, Fire Emblem, complete with, its own, not weapon triangle so much as weapon square.
Well, yes, because gun is now a part of it, I believe.
That is Marie Joseph Paul Yves Rocher Gilbert de Montier, Marquis de Lafayette.
Yeah. So yeah, as you can see, units you attack, units counterattack.
That's Varennes, the city of Varennes.
Sure.
According to Google.
Items in battle have numbers of uses. Generally, you're not going to run out of use in a battle unless you're like trying to solo the entire encounter with one guy. Which, considering the amount of people you have, is not insignificant. But since we can't really do much else, we'll just wait. Okay, so to talk a bit about what's going on, this is actually the divergent point in history. At a certain point, during the French towards the end of the king's reign, for obvious reasons, Louis decided that it would be a good idea to flee the Palace of Versailles, the Marquis de Lafayette was actually in charge of the Imperial Guard at that point, was in charge of keeping him there. Or not the Palace of Versailles, the Palace of wherever the hell this is. Because of this action, and the Marquis retrieves him later and brings him back. Nothing, okay. This is what causes, the French to go over the top, strip him of his kingship, and then eventually leads to his beheading. In our timeline.
This timeline, though.
Yes. In this timeline, women have special powers. So, because of this, basically, everyone who finds out about it covers up the flight and instead pretends it was a kidnapping. Because of this, France actually stabilizes more into a constitutional monarchy with a bunch of different sides, effectively. Regardless of these different events, France is still basically at war with most of Europe.
I change.
That was actually honestly going to happen regardless. Yes, this is our main character, Pauline Bonaparte. Pauline Bonaparte is an actual person in real life, or was an actual person in real life rather, but obviously she was not a military officer. She was just a socialite, and she is the sister of Napoleon.
As always, when dialogue choices come up, do dialogue choices matter, or is this just us killing time and then decide about that?
A little bit of both. These dialogue choices don't matter. They're basically explaining the backstory, but dialogue choices do actually matter in this game when there's forks.
Okay.
我们这一代的革命已经结束了。
Basically, there's 5 factions to gain points with, and depending on your dialogue choices, you generally gain points. Occasionally, it also does other things, like help you recruit characters.
One suggestion when you get the chance to do it, I don't know if you have a chance to do it now, you may want to, like, turn down the speed of the auto text by 1.
Yeah. And that's all that. Oh, there's an actual menu option there.
He steps out of the car while it's still moving. Napoleon is still off. Napoleoning.
So, that being the thing, because there's no French Revolution, Napoleon never rises to power as emperor, so he is just basically a high-ranking military person.
Sense.
Yeah, so basically telling you that there's 4 different unit types. Line infantry, light infantry, because that's not confusing, heavy cavalry, and light cavalry. And technically a couple of miscellaneous, but we don't count them.
So in addition to weapon type, there's unit type
Yeah.
advantages.
Basically what unit determines what type of weapons they use, but weapons are more or less just power and usage, or what weapons they can use. Infantry tend to use guns, cavalry use swords. Yeah. So light cavalry has advantage against light infantry, but disadvantage against heavy cavalry. Default range, even though there's a lot of gun users, is 1. There are units with further ranges than that, obviously. That's generally reserved for cannons. Let me... Before I forget. Language... Yeah, it doesn't give me an option for that, it looks like.
Yeah, okay. We'll roll with it.
Yeah.
I have an associated question about the battle system.
Mhm.
So I noticed that when we can move to a particular square, we get an event and we get an item.
Yes.
How heavy, in your opinion, is the item/square hunting in this tactics game?
From what I remember offhand, not incredibly ridiculous, but it is kind of there. In this case, that item was literally on the ground, as is, like, those flowers over there.
Okay, there are visual indicators for
Yeah.
those things. I did not catch that, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a hat, there when she moved to it.
Okay. See, I've got experience with Super Robot Wars, where one of the things you're expected to do for secrets is know that on this huge, like, 200-tile-plus battlefield, going to this particular square, on this particular turn or quicker, will get you a secret. There is no indicator on the map to show this.
Yep. Okay, that just passes items off.
The basket. I do like... Okay, there's a lot of stuff I like about the presentation of this game, just from the initial get-go here. I like the general style of the game. I like the UI and the presentation. They obviously spend a lot of time and effort on it. Shows off. I also like the Advanced Wars style representing health of a unit as individual people in the unit die.
Yes, even if it is kind of silly in the current mission.
It is, yes.
Yes, morale. Basically, as you, defeat people / attack and other things, it will fill the morale bar. Once it's full completely, you get basically a super attack. Or slightly better attack. That's right, she has the experimental musket to start with. Yeah, so this gun, for example, has a 2 range, but a low amount of uses. And as standard fare of these games, a defeated enemy doesn't counterattack.
Yeah. Which is good because the cleric is getting pretty beaten up there.
Yeah. That's why they started him with bread. I don't think you're in. No. Can't even shoot over that. Okay. Also, if you ever wondered what Chinese people speaking with a French accent sounded like,
Yes, this game actually was developed in China, right?
yeah, it's a Chinese company.
战斗吧，诸位！今天的胜利会成为美好明天的基石。哦。
As you can see, this man is Napoleon Bonaparte. If I actually have to explain what he did in real life, please go back to history class.
Now, question for you. Are we, apart from the obvious Bonaparte in the room, are we going into history, actual history stuff on certain characters, or are you waiting for a particular time to do
A little bit of A, a little bit of B. There are some I need to read up a little bit more on.
that? Okay. As we've been running into people, I just assume that they are people of historical prevalence of some sort.
Yeah.
And have been looking them up.
Uh, the only one I actually got much time to look up was actually the Marquis de Lafayette and what he actually did. So basically, he was in charge of the palace guards. After the fleeing of the emperor that was under his, or not the emperor, the King Louis that was under his guard, he lost a lot of reputation. And effectively couldn't do, because the Marquis de Lafayette during the French Revolution was actually a moderate. He was trying to kind of work towards a constitutional monarchy. But because of the whole fleeing incident, he basically lost face with most of the population. At a certain point, left France, but got captured by the Austrians. Eventually, after Napoleon takes power, he gets back to France. Napoleon pardons him, and for the most part, just lives out the rest of his days in France. Because effectively, the Marquis de Lafayette is seen as a hero, kind of, by both the Americans and the French for his roles during the American Revolution. In general, you're a hero in France if you've screwed with the British.
From what I know about French history, which is not a lot, mind you, sounds right. I did look up Leclerc, and I'm not sad his legs got broken. Unless he changed into a better person in this timeline.
Don't count on it. And this is Rose de Beaumont. This is Hubert. He's an asshole.
And yeah, standard
Yeah.
strategy RPG stuff. Your guest units don't give you crap, so take all the glory for yourself.
Generally, yes. Okay. So, okay, we do have detail info, good. So, both Napoleon and Pauline are Fusilier class, basically line infantry. Well, their type is line infantry, but basically frontliners. The interesting thing about them is every class kind of has a passive skill. I don't know. Yeah. That's that stuff. But yeah. The default path of the skill for them is line battle. Adjacent friendly infantry units receive +1 attack and defense, and by infantry they mean line infantry. It does not count light infantry.
Okay.
Over the course of the game, you get skills that you equip. They have passive abilities as well. Basically, for this battle, both Napoleon and Rose are way over-leveled. Pauline is level 1, they're like level 5. I think everything we're fighting is level 1.
Yeah.
没时间磨蹭了。你准备，开火！瞄准了，给我打！
Also, there's a speed stat, and what the speed stat does is if it gets high enough, you get to make more than one attack.
Oh, okay then. That's a Fire Emblem thing, right?
Yes, Fire Emblem does have extra attacks based on speed compared to your opponent. It's a combination of the speed of your character and the weight of their weapon compared to the opponent's speed.
Got it.
I probably should have done her first. Okay. Rose's artillery, it's outside the weapon square thing, basically, or Calfer type square. Their main thing is they use cannons, which have extreme ranges, as you can see. Generally like a 3 or 4 range.
把他们头干掉！ 开火！瞄准了，给我打！
Let's see, where can you guys get to? Realistically, nowhere. Okay.
也不掂量掂量自己的斤。
It's a good thing shrapnel hit him right into the exposition gland.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so once you use your special fancy powers, you have to commit to them.
Yep.
Be sure you want to use your fancy special powers.
Yeah. So basically, Pauline and a few other units get special actions like that. You're going to be And
后继支援准备好。
I am overthinking this. Also, obviously, you can only return fire in range.
I can't hit people shooting me with guns back with the sword.
狠狠的打！
Or back with a gun with shorter range. Okay, Napoleon to stand there to give Pauline a buff.
准备，开火！
Good job, Rose. Speed can sometimes be an issue. Or movement, rather.
你准备，开火！
Helping.
Okay, you can stand here just to buffer.
Now, do the uses of these weapons recharge after every fight, or is it once these weapons are used, they're gone, Fire Emblem style?
They recharge after every fight. It's effectively how much... For guns, it makes sense to some extent. It's the amount of ammo you're carrying, basically.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
For swords, it's... I don't know how long it takes for it to get blunt. I've got no idea on this.
You have to reload your sword.
Nice to have that heroic action. And the victory screen.
trophy looting. That doesn't have sinister connotations.
No, certainly not. It actually really doesn't.
Simple. I am great. Everyone else is bad. That is why I make all the decisions.
Yeah, Napoleon has a little bit of an ego.
Yeah. That's the tame way of putting it.
Yeah.
Now, granted, history did show that in a lot of instances he could back up that talk.
An army does
At least
great
when it
things.
Yeah.
What's that?
Having an army does great things.
Yeah.
Having an army does great
at least
things.
when it
Having the
came
French
to-
army does better things, and he is one of the better generals of his era.
Yeah.
Like, it is actually a combination of several factors. He was also actually good at running the clusterfuck that was France. Not exactly in positive ways, in a lot of ways, but he actually made it function. I would also like to remind our audience at home that these actually are period-appropriate clothes.
I don't think the military outfits are period appropriate clothes.
No, the military outfits are not. Well, Napoleon's is fine.
I don't think the female cast military outfits are period clothes.
Because there were no female cast military outfits, correct. So, Club des Malmaçons is one of those factions I actually spoke about earlier. This This one, unlike the other factions, does not actually play against each other. This is simply Pauline and Josephine's reputation, effectively.
Okay.
Because Pauline is away on battlefield during a lot of the chapters, stuff happening in France, you're effectively playing as Josephine. In a related note, Jacobins being another one of the factions, and Napoleon is technically a member. In the sense that Napoleon's actual faction is Napoleon.
Josephine continuing the game's tradition of real people.
Yes, Josephine is a real person. Important, as a matter of fact, as well, but I have...
Yeah.
Again, I didn't do any research on her yet, so I didn't really want to...
In real history, she would become Josephine Bonaparte.
Yeah.
If that's going to happen, because as of right now, her husband in this alternate timeline should be still alive.
Hold on. This is an anime waifu game. She can totally still become Josephine Bonaparte.
That is true, yes.
I regret to inform you there's no dating sim aspects to this game.
Not for you, but there could
of.
be a dating sim aspect in the background where Napoleon Bonaparte slowly is a group of women for his own harem.
Oh, you're assuming Napoleon's going to be the one marrying her.
No, I thought he was assuming Pauline.
Ah.
Yeah, this is explaining these factions, if you want. Yeah, basically, because of their rewording of it as a, or they're reinterpreting the flight as a kidnapping, Marquis de Lafayette instead gained support and power and was actually able to turn the country into a constitutional monarchy. His factions being the Foulons. And the royal family managed to actually keep their heads.
Overrated.
And the Jacobins managed to not utterly destroy their own reputation by being the worst jackasses in France, which is kind of saying something. When your rule is called the Reign of Terror, you are doing something wrong.
Basically. Free time!
So this is, I think, the only time this happens, but each of these choices actually adds to your stats. I believe that one's attack, that one's defense, and this one is speed, so we're going with speed. And this one does nothing. Thus, we play with Wildcats and relax.
The cat has bitten me. I now have superpowers. This is an odd development.
Or rather, it's a skill that increases speed. So yes, bitten by a cat gains superpowers.
Catwoman happened, right?
Yeah, that's how the Halle Berry Catwoman movie happens. Nothing I learned in the Halle Berry Catwoman has ever steered me wrong.
So yes, the general menu of the game. But first... Okay. Yep. View general reputation there. Build achievements. Achievements actually give us stuff, so they are actually mildly important. Alright.
Is this the kind of thing that would be worth pulling up a guide, or not a guide to get them, but just a list of them?
It is right here, and a lot of them are more just,
Oh, okay. It's
general
the general,
things.
just reach,
Yeah.
reach relationship with X faction, spend money in stores.
Yeah. Those are more important. Yeah. And this is King Louis XVI, a man who is by no means competent at his job in any way, shape, or form.
The only real outstanding qualification for being royalty slash high ranking in French society, can you throw a bangin' rager?
Kinda, sort of.
And have lots of money, that's also important. You need money to throw bangin' ragers.
Well, I mean, being able to tax basically means you have lots of money. The French...
You have everyone's money.
So, the thing about the French system, Louis, I believe it was the 14th, was the Sun King. A lot of decisions were basically more or less centralized around the king, who had a good amount of power. The problem is, Louis XVI was not the kind of guy who could actually lead a country very well, or from an administrative standpoint. This made worse by the fact that the French system was kind of a parasitic clusterfuck at this point. Even more so in Paris, specifically.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure this is an upstanding gem. Okay, I can't even finish that. I know the history of Robespierre.
Yes. This is Robespierre, pretty much the man's mostly responsible for said reign of terror.
Which is why here he looks like Kabuto from Naruto wearing a Party City wig. That hair's not nearly audacious enough to be Marie.
So, Marie actually gets a worse reputation in history than is probably deserved. For starters, she never actually said, let them eat cake. But nonetheless, it's not like she did anything great to rein in her husband.
I was specifically referring to the fact that she was known for having, like, a huge head of audacious hair.
Oh, yeah.
Style, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, this is one of the faction choices, and thankfully they actually put the faction icon by it. So that one at the top is for the Jacobins, that one is for the Royals, and that one is for Malmaisons. Being the most agreeable of the three people here.
I'd like to talk about these people. They're not shitters.
And a related note, I'm getting a pronunciation guide for that last name. Unfortunately, we don't actually get out of having to side with one or the other of these people.
You
We're
will
gonna
interact with the faction system and you will like it.
Yes. So, in any case, we're siding with the Jacobins solely because they have guns.
Ah, it's history repeating, I see.
Yes, please, by all means, get the fuck out of here.
I do like their animation just has him noping off the side of the screen, sort of like fading away.
Yeah. It should also be noted that Marie is the real faction leader for the Royalists.
That does make sense.
Wait 1 second, I'll be right back.
Yep. List of so many famous French people open by the time this session is done. You may be muted, Vince.
Oh, I am muted. Okay.
Haha, there we go. I
哎
was
呀
wondering why I was so
你
quiet.
那个哥哥呀，我这屋子也不是借给你白住的，你也要多出点力呀。哦，
Great, Vince. Are we going to be doing the DLC in this game?
Yes.
Okay.
可是
This decision literally just affects what our model looks like when we see the king. Sure, why not? I'll go with the dress again simply because we don't see it that often.
It's actually in the background of the room at the
It is, but
cafe. The personal room, that is, not the
yeah.
little cafe screen right here.
But obviously she doesn't wear it on campaign or anything, so...
Well, that's darkly ironic.
Better guillotines?
There are still
Oh.
guillotines. So you see, we can gain a faction with the royalists, or we can not do that. So yeah, let's just praise his craftsmanship.
Harry, please make sure it's done properly. At once, my liege. Dumps a bag of money on the ground. Here you go. Walks away.
Feels somehow like talking to a child.
I'm guessing all quests in the future will not be that simple.
No, but a lot of the side quests literally are just something like that. Okay. Chapter 3, up and coming. Okay, and now we have the beginnings of our army.
Alright.
So yes. Let's see. And on the screen we can actually equip things. So, as you can see, you can have 5 skills, and then you have your basic class skill. So basically, each of the factions is a shop that unlocks things. Eco Militaire is the Fuelon faction.
Okay.
So they gain reputation in them, which we have yet to get a chance to. You unlock the ability to buy skills for characters.
Apparently this man actually had that magnificent of a hair in real life.
Huh.
Looking at at least in his portrait. He's got some 80s glam rock hair.
Yeah. Hussar, if I remember, Hussar is actually light cavalry, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. With his character ability, gorgeous clothing. But yeah. Fusilier is the basic line infantry bit, that both Napoleon and Pauline was, so I think I've explained them well enough. Trollier, with that Daon here is a skirmishing class, kind of effectively. They are the light infantry, and I believe he is light cavalry. Yeah, he was light cavalry. Inventory is something I actually want to adjust. Let's see.
So there's nothing terribly special about any of these guys from a real historical standpoint, apart from, I'm assuming that's Chevalier d'Eon,
Yes.
the person they're referencing there, who was apparently a very prolific spy and diplomat.
And is a prolific spy and diplomat in this game, so that makes sense. Or was, rather. But yeah, now we can actually do this. As you can see, you can equip 3 items. Period. This includes your weapons, so this is kind of important. Alright. And I think that's about it we can do here. Alright, so... Actually, I should probably... Yeah, because I think I had some spare bread or something. Okay, we only have those 2 accessories. Okay, now everything's equipped. Alright, well, let's go to that second battle.
I see a bonus challenge section.
Yep. There's no bonus challenge in this one, though.
Yeah.
It's just a straightforward battle for this one.
And the potential for it is there, though.
Let's see. So, line infantries, light infantry, artillery, treasure chest. Alright. Everything looks relatively good, so let's just start.
That's rain bonuses.
Yep. By grass, they literally mean the stuff that's sparkling. Alright.
Also, yeah. Daeon's actually had an interesting life as a spy.
Well, that makes sense considering spy.
Well, yeah. Also, apparently, as far as the real world Daeon, I'm misgendered. In the later portions of her life, Chevalier Daeon identified as a woman.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That also corresponds to something else that was...
She was known for having an androgynous sort of figure, which actually helped her when she infiltrated the court of Empress Elizabeth of Russia as a woman. And then later in life, she stopped using that as a disguise and just identified and asked people to identify her as female. She transitioned, at least as much as you could in 17th century or 17th century France.
Yeah. That's right. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Can you find the trophy chest on the battlefield?
Can you find the trophy chest?
Let me see. Okay, no, that's just the basic stuff. Take that, Will.
Will always comes out badly in these fights.
What is your threat range? Okay, basically everywhere. Got it.
部队的后勤也要跟上。运，开火！
准备战斗！
Ow. That was more than I was expecting. Ah, well.
I am assuming death is not death in this game.
No, they just retreat. At least on this setting.
Still not great to lose the guy who's expressly good at taking out foot troops.
Oh, that's right, they would counterattack at range, wouldn't they? Oh, that was a bad idea.
考试要趁早，让给我
Right.
吧。
I know we're not at that point yet, but is there an option in the game to restart a fight, or do you have to reload a save?
给我轰！
I believe there is, actually. Yeah,
Okay.
restart.
The option does exist if it is required.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. Alright, what are your threat ranges? Alright. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. Let's see. What's your threat range?
准备战斗！
Ah, just short on that one, huh? Probably should check that first, but it doesn't really matter too much. Hmm. Yeah, so light infantry is particularly evasive. Ah.
好事要趁早，今天的头功让给我吧。开火！开火！
自由射击！打好位置，射击！
All right.
Watchmen，该你们上场表现了。弟兄们，准备战斗！
We're out of range on that. Yep. Might as well take advantage of this grass. Catch some Pokemon.
No, that's our Monday stream.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
“好事要趁早”，今天的头功让给我吧。
Mm. Wait, can't you? No, you can't. Ah! Give him that instead of bread.
One whole extra HP.
Yep. Well, it's permanent. But, yeah. That should... Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's see.
伙计们，该你们上场表现了。
God, you have a good move. That's right, your movement affects your positioning. Thus, those weird paths are actually worth it in a weird way.
Yeah.
You got about that much range. Of course. No, it's just morale. Okay. You're gonna go there. Okay. Thought he was at... Ah. Okay, you're nowhere near as damaged as the R1. Ah, just short. I think you're just basically... No, wait. There we go. And you're probably dead.
It's fine, soldiers. Your bravery has allowed Pauline to get even more XP.
Exactly.
A noble
别瞧不
sacrifice.
起老人家，开火！
You! Stand here to buff Pauline. Well, fuck. So we're starting this battle, you say? I don't remember that. Yep, that was the defeat condition. Okay, so that's what the game over screen looks like.
Okay.
There we go, skip. Okay, so we've seen all this dialogue, so we'll just skip this stuff. Maybe it lets me. There we go. You guys can attack. There, okay.
各位辛苦了。这就是平时训练的成果吧。
Basically, Fire Emblem, if the emblem was a fleur-de-lis.
Yep.
Not far off.
Not that that's a bad thing, mind you. Granted, we're only like 3 missions into the actual game, but so far they've shown they're pretty
让我
competent
变
at
装
it.
去探下虚实吗？
Oh.
自由射击！
Wonder if I can fix that.
Fix what?
You always counterattack with whatever weapon you have first. So she's
Oh.
using her experimental rifle instead of the musket.
You can use the
部队的
exchange
后勤
menu
表跟上。
to rearrange it.
Or no, it's with whatever weapon you
that's-
attacked with last. That's right. I remember
It's
that
whatever
now.
the last
Yeah.
weapon you used was.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's right.
in keeping with Fire Emblem tradition.
Weapon you're currently equipped with.
Yep. God, you're just stupid. Because this guy's in the way.
一下命令吧。打好位置，射击！下令吧。
Damn it. There we go.
注意，放！
都别落下，冲锋！跟好了，冲垮他们！
There we go. No artillery for you.
好事要趁早，现在头功就让给我吧。
开火！
And that problem solves itself. Okay.
按下虚实吗？
准备战斗！开火！开火！
都别落下，冲锋！跟好了，冲垮他们！
Light cavalry is fairly fast. They will usually get 2 attacks in, actually.
That makes sense. They are
Yeah.
horses.
Yeah. As it is a comparison between your speed and their speed.
We have intentionally chosen the slowest horses in all of France as a joke.
别落下，冲锋！跟好了，冲垮他们！
Way to go.
好事要趁早，让给我吧。
自由射击！
Yeah, why not?
准备，开火！哎，给我轰！
都别落下，冲锋！
What is your range?
别落下，冲锋！
注意，
Damn it. Cursed accuracy.
Yep. You're all like level 1 units, just to be expected.
Yeah.
伙计们，该你们上场表现了。
I think the only unit that has gained a level in our entire army is Pauline herself.
尝尝这个。
Yes.
跟好了，冲垮他们！都别落下，冲锋！我早说过，
There we go.
别管什么作战。
Yeah, there you go.
"弟兄们，准备战斗！
That is probably of no actual use. Right. Check that again. Okay, good.
Strategic retreat.
Yep.
That's to not get shot by cannons.
Mostly yes.
You mean to tell me we didn't bring the cannon-proof horses?
Your oversight.
This army.
All right. Not really any getting around that.
这敌军，开火！
看我！好事要趁早，就让给我啊！开火！开火！
Okay, you don't cover the lower side. Good. And you shot exactly where I thought you would.
给我轰！
I'm too drunk to feel pain. I'm not, man. Shut up and keep firing.
Yeah, they tend to prioritize the attack of the artillery, which makes sense. But that also happens with the artillery.
Dude,
准备好了吗？
standard reports. Woo! Second time's a charm.
Yep. actually is strategy and not just rushing like an idiot.
Yeah.
Well,
Who knew?
It's been a while since I played this game.
Very jaunty music.
Yep. Okay. So that's a DLC mission. And that's a repeatable mission, basically just to, grind.
Ah, your nice grindy mission.
Yep. Let's see. The chessboard summary. As you can see, we have 5,500 in funds and nothing to spend it on. Alright. So next on the list would be the side quests, but it's already like 1150.
Stop.
Yep. Right.
We get too deep into something else.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so with that said, thank you for joining us for our first session of Banner of the Maid. Join us on Saturday. No, wait, we have 9 on Saturday. Join us on Sunday for SD Gundam G Generation Genesis.
There we go.
The Rebirth Arc part, whatever the hell we're on. More specifically, Char's counterattack and the beginning of Unicorn. Join us on Monday for more Pokemon. By Pokemon, I mean Elden Ring. And join us on Tuesday for more Phoenix Point. And finally, join us back here on Thursday for we continue Banner of the Maid. Till then, I am Vincent.
I'm the Krampus.
I'm Shiv.
Right, and have a good evening, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.